This video will walk you through managing your mix with the x32 phone app. Now, the x32 phone app for iPhone or for Android is significantly different than the iPad version. So the iPad version will be handled in a different video. This will only cover managing your mix from a smartphone, either iOS or Android. This will be from an Android point of view, but the apps on iPhone are very similar, so you'll get the same idea. Anything that's uniquely different about iPhone, I will take a minute to address. So the first step is to go to the Play Store or the App Store. Here you're just going to search for x32. Now on Apple, you'll have a couple options, I believe. They'll be within the top 3 searches. X32Q is really what you want, but I think it costs a few dollars. It's worth it, but there's also a free version, I believe, and I'm not sure if it's managed by Behringer or not. I believe some of our members are using it, and it functions essentially the same way. Play around with either option. It's worth it if you just want to go with the Behringer one. Download the app. Once it's finished downloading, you'll open it up. Now, this top right connection status, you will not have a green connection status. It'll be red because you have to manually configure the IP address for the soundboard, which we'll walk you through in just a minute. And secondly, you need to be on the church network currently for you to get a proper connection. But if you're playing around with this at home, you can watch this and get a good idea for what you need to do ahead of your Sunday morning schedule and reference this as needed. So the first step is to select the connection status in the top right, which again will be red. Under Mixer, you'll want to select that. This is already configured. You'll need to enter in this exact IP address, 192.168.1.215. Hit OK. If there's an option for subnet, you'll want to enter 255.255.255.0, and it's got to be exactly that. If it asks for a gateway, that'll be 192.168.1.1. There's no save as or anything like that, so you just go back and you should get a green connection status after a few minutes. Again, assuming you're at church while you're doing this. So there are 2 options, 2 configurations in portrait mode, which we are currently in. And the first one is the screen we're on right now. That allows you to select which channel. Select that at the top where it says lead. Now, the channels at church are going to be a little different than the ones I have set up here, but it's pretty self-explanatory. If you need to know what channel you are using the morning you're playing, look at the cord you're plugging your headphones into. It should be marked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. Channel 1 is the lead channel, 2 and 3 are vocals, 4 is keys, and 5 through 8 is bass, drums, electric, and a spare. Again, the chord should be labeled. If it's not, ask the sound guy for assistance, but you'll select 1 through 8. Once you've done so, we'll pretend I'm drums today. Select that, hit close. The second configuration option is if you swipe to the right, it's your overall master volume. I recommend mixing this. So 0 is also referred to as infinity. I recommend you be mixed infinity or beyond. Why is because sometimes channels run a little quiet. So if your overall mix is a little bit low, you may run out of headroom. When mixing individual channels, you may max them out and not hear enough of them. So by mixing your overall up a little bit, you give yourself more headroom. So I recommend that. All right, now we're gonna switch to landscape mode. Now you can go two directions with landscape mode. You can turn your phone to the left, or you can turn your phone to the right. There is a bug, at least on the Android version of this app. Do not rotate to the right. If you see your little menu on the left, your sliders are going to be off a row, and it's really annoying. So always landscape to the left. Again, that's a bug in the app. One day I'll write a bug report on that. Here's where you actually control the mixture of each instrument. And again, these channels are laid out a little bit differently on the board I'm on right now than the board at church. But just figure it out, read the channels. Preaching mic is typically channel 1, ministry mic is 2, lead is 3, etc. You can swipe to the right to get to your next 8 channels. At church, channel 17 and 18 are house mics, which help you hear the congregation. I recommend you mix those in a little bit. And metronome, I believe, is channel 20 or 21. If you slide all the way to the right, you have FX channels. Now what these allow you to do is mix reverb into your head mix. And if your mix is a little bit dry for your taste, this is a way you can add in some reverb to give it a little bit of, life. Especially if you're on vocals that morning. Channel 3L and 3R are instrumentation reverb. And I believe currently the keys, acoustic guitars, and drums are configured for reverb. So when you move this up and down, they are stereo paired, so both of them will move together. When you move it up and down, you're going to get overall reverb. You can't control individual reverb for each instrument. Same with 4L and 4R. This is for vocals, which right now are lead vocal channel and backup vocal channels are mixed in with reverb at the soundboard. This will give you overall. So play around with it, see what you like. And that covers it. Again, for iPad usage of the x32 app, the interface is dramatically different. So we'll do a separate video if you wanted to only use your iPad to do on-song and control your mix. You have that option. We'll post another video on how to use that app. It's a little bit trickier, but it's got a lot more options. That does it for this video. Thanks, guys.